album, for anyone that's been on the internet, it was leaked like 6 weeks prior. And it's one of those things where, like, if you're an artist, it's like, yeah, people are getting my music. They're getting it early, so be it. But how do you feel as an artist? Like, do you feel like the quality level wasn't there, or are you, if they get it, they get it. If they don't, or there's so much more that we can change for these songs prior to a release a month and a half earlier?
The songs were all like, it was all recorded, everything finished. We kind of think like that it was probably a decent thing that it got leaked early. It wasn't like the worst thing that happened.
Right.
I'm not saying it's like the best thing, but
right.
For us, like, we just wanted to have people to know that we had a record coming out.
And start listening to it.
Yeah, the only thing that's kind of weird about it is some of the title tracks are a little bit different. And some of the quality level isn't as much, but
Thanks.
I don't know, what do you guys
Well,
think?
I think when you put out a record, one of the things you want to do is kind of build the hype to that day, and then boom, it's out.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that probably kind of killed some of the buzz. But at the same time, you know, we're heading out on tour, you know, to support the record. And this way, you know, if you're trying to make lemonade out of lemons, people know the songs, they're familiar with it. Whereas, you know, if you're just having it out and touring right away, you're going to be playing to a lot of people that aren't familiar with it.
More. It's like, wow, we just put out these songs, and how do these kids know this song? It's like, this is a new song. It was like, yeah, you're going to play this song.
So, yeah, everybody had a chance to, you know, get to know the record, I think, well before we were able to hit the road. So in that sense, it worked out in our favor, I think.
All right, guys, so it's the time in the interview where we play the brain game. And for you, we decided it would be most appropriate to do a Canada version. So get ready. There's no right or wrong answer, so you technically can't lose this brain game.
I wanted to call it a Canada versus version, but she didn't want me to say that.
Yeah, it's versus something, and they're all based about Canada. So let's start it off. If you guys had to pick who would win in a hockey fight, would it be Avril Lavigne or Alanis Morissette?
Alanis Morissette.
Nice, good.
See?
Good answer.
Isn't that ironic? What you think? Doesn't pertain to everyone in the band, but I have to know this. Molson or Labatt's?
Neither.
Neither? See,
neither.
I want to know what's the legit Canadian beer.
Well, if you come to Winnipeg, half pints. I don't know.
Moosehead?
Moosehead.
I'm gonna order a Molson Canadian before I order a Labatt Blue.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'll take one if someone hands it to me, but I'm definitely not gonna.
Let's put it this way. I'll shotgun one.
And Molson actually gets that Brahma beer, that Brazilian beer. They export that to Canada.
So delicious.
It's great. So I would say Molson.
I'll keep that in mind.
Molson wins.
All right, so just in general, you don't have to be a sports fan, but Wayne Gretzky or Mario Lemieux?
Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky.
Lemieux, I guess. I don't know.
Although, funny thing, if I can just say, we got our name from a Mario Lemieux headline.
Well, let's hear it. Let's hear the story.
He went out with a back injury, and he retired from hockey, and he had surgery, and I guess went through a lot of therapy. He ended up, you know, playing for the Penguins again. So the headline was something like, you know, Mario Lemieux, the comeback kid or whatever. And Scott happened to be flipping through the sports section, and that's where he got the idea for the name.
Was it a back injury or Hodgkin's? He had Hodgkin's disease, didn't he?
I thought it was. I'm pretty sure it was a spine, something with his spine.
Either way, he was the comeback kid.
He was the comeback kid, and that's why you're sitting here on the couch.
Mario Lemieux has a nicer story.
Yeah, you guys kind of have to pick him. I feel like by default.
But Wayne Gretzky is the best
like he was on a
lived.
cartoon with Bo Jackson and Michael Jordan back in the day. I just want to throw that out.
92 goals
for those who
in
don't
one
know.
Best hockey player, worst comedian.
Actually, he was pretty bad on SNL.
Yeah.
He was terrible on SNL. Yeah.
And for the last question, feel free to answer this, anyone, but raise your hand. He's like,
back there,
quiet,
guys.
quiet guys. Hey,
we're not from Canada, so we really didn't have a whole lot to contribute to the first.
Sorry.
For the Minnesota people in our Carolinas, we're going to ask the question of the best venues, name two best venues in Winnipeg.
In Winnipeg, well, I've only played the Albert and the Garrick. I've played a couple other community centers. I can't really remember
the Garrett
the name,
Event Theater. That's
the Albert has
we looked
a lot
that
of history in Winnipeg, as far as I know, for just holding punk shows for years and years and years. And They actually made a documentary about it.
Best stage?
Recently.
Would you classify as the best stage dive?
Best stage dive?
Yeah.
Well, that would have been a place called the Collective,
Yeah.
which closed a couple years ago. But the Albert, yeah, it's a pretty classic venue in Winnipeg. We actually played our first show there, so. Yeah. And
we're playing there at the end of this?
We were playing there in a month.
So you guys bring it back home for real.
That's perfect. Well, it was great having you guys here. Thank you again for being here at Smartpunk Live.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.
And if you want to check out more Comeback Kid online, be sure to log on to smartpunklive.com.
Let's go!